Hey MD, this is Mark Alvisi. We're filming here at Metroflex in Arlington, a few days after the Europa Pro Dallas, and we're filming some content for Gaspari Nutrition. And I tell you, Per Bernal is our photographer today, and he's a very demanding photographer. He definitely he works you until he gets the shot he wants, and then he takes a few more. You know, it's not as easy as just standing in front of the camera and flexing. Basically, what that means is you're going to just do a static hold of a movement over and over and over and over again until they think they've got enough of them that they're going to be able to get a good shot out of there. You might take 100 images and use 3. So, you know, that when you're doing that in a gym like Metroflex over here with no air conditioning, it's probably 110 degrees in there. I might as well just pour the water straight on my head because I drink it and it comes right back out my pores. But pretty cool, man. Branch is in there and Johnny Jackson and you know, just a lot of hardcore bodybuilders that you would expect to be training in a gym like this. So it was it's been a long day, it's been a hot day, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So yeah, I was just going to talk to you guys a little bit about some behind the scenes stuff leading up to the show. Basically, I got in on Wednesday before the contest, and you know, Hani took a look at me for the first time in person since a few months, since I went out to see him in California. And you know, we pretty much decided, you know, looking at my physique, how we were going to go about, you know, how much we were going to fill me out, and you know, water manipulation, and you know, everybody's different. The same thing doesn't work for everybody because everybody's body responds differently to different things. So it's not an exact science. It's more of a kind of trial and error, and you have to find out what works for your body. And the one thing that it's like a moving target because your body changes from show to show too. And you know, the things I did for the USA's, I did a little bit differently for this contest. And you know, once he took a look at me, he decided that he wanted to be, I guess, a little bit conservative and not fill me up too much. So because we wanted to make sure that I maintained that real crisp conditioning, and trying not to sacrifice too much condition for coming in a little bit too full, and then it would actually hurt me. One thing I didn't anticipate, or neither of us did, is the fact that when we got over there for prejudging, it must have been 100 degrees in that building because they weren't running the AC, and it was well over 100 degrees outside, and everybody was sweating in there. So that really threw me off because what happens is, you know, my body temperature starts rising. As soon as I pump up with that muscle sheen on, immediately it starts to heat me up and make me, you know, put me on the verge of sweating. And that's the last thing you want to do when you're up on stage because it'll just flatten you out. And once we got up there, fortunately I got the first call out, and those lights up there, they just add that much more heat. And we ran through the call-outs and probably ran through our mandatories, and right towards the end, I really started feeling myself heating up. And I knew I was going to start breaking a sweat just because it just was so damn hot. And what happened is they put me back in the lineup after they had judged us, and just standing on the sidelines, that's when it really started to start pouring out of me. And what that did to me is it starts to flatten me out a little bit. And I guess you could say, you know, that's what they would call it when somebody's fading. And luckily, the judging had already been done at that point, and I could have been a little bit crisper, and that's what they wanted to see. So in the end, I didn't even find out until after the fact, but I was actually only 2 points behind Bill Wilmore after the prejudging. And we realized that, okay, you know, I'm starting to flatten out a little bit. We've got to make an adjustment so that, you know, I come in a little bit tighter and drier and try to fill me back out again. So we made a couple of changes. We decided just to load me up with a lot of low glycemic carbohydrates, slow burning, and add some extra fats in there, and drink no water, and pretty much just force my body to fill back up with dry carbs. and it really actually worked. I probably dropped a couple pounds, but it really tightened me up noticeably, and at the same time, because it gave me another 24 hours to put calories in my body, it caused me to fill out a little bit more. So I definitely looked a lot better, tighter and fuller come Saturday night, and the judges rewarded me for coming in better, and I got a higher score on Saturday, because on Saturday they rejudged the top 5, and it was actually enough to put me 1 point ahead of Cedric and Bill, who were actually tied if you look at the score sheets. And that's why I was shocked. If you saw my reaction on stage, the way the call-outs were going, I thought that I was going to be in 4th, just the way the call-outs were. Thing is, I was actually only 2 points behind those guys, you know, coming out of the prejudging. So needless to say, I was pretty blown away. I really wasn't expecting to be that high. I couldn't be happier, and what can I say? I'm just excited to get my pro debut out of the way and to do really well. As far as my future plans are concerned, even though I'm qualified for the Olympia, I decided that I really don't want to step on the Olympia stage until I make a few more improvements in some areas that I'd like to bring up before I step up on that stage. When I step on that Olympia stage, I want to make an impact, and I'm sure I could get up there and place somewhere decent, but you know, I'd really like to be as competitive as possible when I get there. So what I'm going to do is just take some downtime, and I'm not really sure what show I'm going to do next year yet, but I'm pretty much already know what my plan of attack is as far as making the improvements. And one thing I've identified is I want to really start working on the detail in my back more. This last off season, I really focused on overall mass and size, and you know, I guess I should have focused just as much on the detail movements, and I didn't. So now my focus is going to be obviously additional size, but really trying to etch in that detail in my back so it just really separates and is a lot more impressive next time I get up there. You know, in closing, I pretty much just going to wrap up the day here at Metroflex, and I just want to thank you know, my sponsor Gaspari Nutrition for all their support and you know, put me out there in a big way and helping me with all the promotional end of things. And you know, thanks Steve Blackman for you know, giving me some mic time here on MD, and you know, everybody else that's a part of my team. You know, I've got a bunch of people that really are a part of my success, from my girlfriend Ava Cowan and her support, you know, my training partner James Davis, and you know, my massage therapist George Johnson does all my deep tissue. There's a number of people that really helped me out, and I just wanted to thank everybody for supporting me, and guess we'll see you guys next year on stage.